Hey guys, Pitmaster here. Um, Today I want to talk about one of my favorite sayings. There's a lot of things I say during class, during training, in my life. Um, I love live clean, fight dirty. I love even more than that, train hard, live clean, fight dirty. It doesn't mean, tell my fighters and the sport fighters to fight dirty. It's for, I think, the way you should live your life. You should live clean, be healthy and stuff. And then if somebody tries to, my second word, phrase, somebody tries to take your lunch money, fight dirty. Because there's no rules on the street. I have almost done, which I've been saying for years. I have good news, bad news. There's just a lot, and I'm going to go over them and what they mean to me and why I say them all the time and whatever. Okay, today it's going to be don't let anyone take your lunch money. I like to live by that, and obviously I don't carry around a little quarter, and that's what lunch money was when I was in school. I don't carry the quarter around, and then somebody takes my quarter. Tries to take my lunch money. So that's where it started though. I grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, public school, and lunch money was a quarter. You could buy a pretty good lunch for a quarter. It was kind of like the Army meals I had when I was in basic training, basically. It was, a little dessert, which was probably like a little apple pie, and then there was a little veggie thing. Then there's a little tiny salad thing with Italian dressing probably. Then there was like the main course, which was usually like spaghetti, lasagna, Salisbury steak or something like that over rice. And it was a quarter, and you stood in line and you had your lunch. Well, back in Hawaii, sometimes the locals would want to take my lunch money, and it was literally and a metaphor. So I'm going to use it as the metaphor more because of the lunch, we don't have lunch money, but that's where it started. To me, it's don't let anyone bully you. So I'd be in the lunch line, some local would say, give me your lunch money, a fight would start, whatever, or I'd be, walking around campus, hey, give me your lunch money, so that's where it started. But to me, it means so much more than that. Because it represents bullying to me. And so when I say don't let anyone ever take your lunch money, I'm directing it at everyone. For the kids, since I don't think there's even lunch money anymore, I think you guys, like the parents, put it on a credit card. I don't even know how it works. And then you swipe something, and then you're in line, and you get your lunch money. I don't know. But when I direct it at kids, when I tell kids don't let anyone take your lunch money, I mean don't let anyone pick on you. And when I'm saying it at school, it's usually don't let anyone bully you at school. And I'm a lot quicker to have a kid fight at school against a bully. I think there should be a shorter fuse for that than there is for an adult on the street. And I'll tell you why. Because you're probably saying, oh, you're trying to teach your kids to be bullies or teach them to be rowdy. No, I'm not. I think if you let someone bully you at school, first, I think you should never pick on anyone and never bully anyone else. And you should always try to tell a teacher, a principal, or your parents. But when someone is bullying you, you need to fight them. Because if you don't fight them, that bullying will escalate. It'll escalate and escalate and escalate until you become a bully target. And then all of a sudden, once you become a bully target, your life is miserable. Kid's life is going to be miserable. He's going to hate his life. He's going to dread going to school. He's going to get depressed. He won't get good grades. He'll have a terrible life. Do we want any kids growing up like that? Do you want your fucking kid to grow up miserable? I'd rather him get in that fight, get it out of the way, get in a fight, win or lose. It's not a life or death fight like it is for an adult on the street. It's a schoolyard brawl. Get in that fight. Get suspended if you have to. But guess what? Now your life is going to be a lot better because the bullies are going to say, oh, that's not an easy target. Let's go over here. So I don't want you to pick on anyone, and I don't want you to fight someone over words, but I don't think any kid should be picked on. Any kid, I don't think anyone should lay their hand on a kid without him or her fighting back. Okay? And a schoolyard fight isn't usually life or death. It's you take them down, you fight on the ground for a little while, whatever, and then the teacher breaks it up. And that bully knows, oh, this guy is not an easy mark. He fights back or she fights back. Okay? And if that kid trains at the Pit or some other really good martial arts school, guess what? He's going to not only not get bullied, he's going to beat up that bully and nobody's going to pick on him anymore. In fact, they'll give him their lunch money. Metaphorically, of course. But anyway, so that's how I mean it for kids. Okay? For adults, I mean it a couple different ways. Number one, fighting is much more serious in the street than it is in the schoolyard. In the schoolyard, it's for schoolyard dominance, bully protection, bully proofing your kid. In the street, it can be life or death a lot quicker. Okay? Somebody's trying to hurt you, don't let them. Fight back. Okay? Try to avoid at all costs because it could be life or death, but don't let him hurt you. Don't let him take your lunch money. Don't let him, don't let him get the best of you. Fight back, fight hard, fight fast. If you think somebody's about to attack you, go for it. And it's better in school to be suspended than hospitalized. Okay? I would rather my kid get suspended than hospitalized. And in the street, guess what? I'd rather you get tried by 12 than carried by 6. I'd rather you get in trouble for fighting back and defending yourself and maybe hurting the guy too much than you ending up in a coffin. So I'm really, I push that a lot and I'm very adamant about that. I also mean it in a lesser way, like at work or at school or whatever. Don't let people get the best of you. Don't let people take advantage of you. I know everybody says turn the other cheek, go with the flow, take the higher ground. Okay, take the higher ground, but don't be anybody's verbal or emotional punching bag. Okay? Don't be that person. Okay? Don't be aggressive, but don't be passive either. Be assertive. Do not let anyone take your fucking lunch money. It's yours. Thanks.